Hello everyone, so today I'm gonna do one more editing process. I just want to document my process more and more, and before I do that, I just want to say thank you for the Instagram support, and I'm almost getting to the 18,000 posts already. So it's been since 2013, so have been adding almost 18,000 posts in my Instagram. And thanks of those go to Instagram and follow my Instagram for my daily posts as well. So thank you so much for the support, and let's get started. So I just want to edit a couple more picture from the RF the new lens 85mm F1.2 L. Before I do that, I just want to show you some sharpness, just 1:1 ratio, F1.2 85mm. You can see that it's super sharp on the wide open, on the lashes and the eyes. It's very sharp. So at the 1.2 wide open for this new lens. So ISO 100 1/1000 a second. So by default is very sharp, and this profile is the Canon EOS R standard profile, and this is a very good lens. I think it's among the top that I have ever used for the bokeh. So it's very nice to see the video as well. For those of you who have seen those story in my Instagram or the YouTube story, that lens I put on a tripod and then just do some short video clip like 1 to 2 seconds, and then just loop them through. It looks very sharp on video as well, but it needs a tripod because there's no like stabilization in the lens or in the body. That's one of the downside. But when you shoot at wide open with the eye autofocus on the eyes, it's very sharp already. You can see the sharpness on the edges as well. So I'm just gonna edit one, and this one I put my camera higher. So this is 1:1 ratio, and F1.2 at the same setting, ISO 100. You can see that it's on focus on this area of the eyes. And sometimes because of 1.2 from far away you thought it's not in focus, but when you zoom in a little bit closer, it is actually in focus, and inches away it's out of focus already. So it's just a very small depth area that is in focus, but from far away you can see that it's softer because less areas are in focus, only a small tiny bit is in focus. And let's get started. I just want to get the setting of this one. So by default, this white balance is very good already. If you do auto, it's a little bit cooler, daylight a little bit warmer. So I can play around with the starting balance in the warmer tone as well. This is definitely too cold for me, and fluorescent is not good. Flashes is good, and if I go back to S shot, it feels more balanced in this one as shot. So I might just start here and then just add a little bit touch, not too much, so that it's custom. Decrease a little bit, add some contrast. So these are just the base. I can come back here to adjust later on. I'm gonna slightly, so while I'm changing, let me see, add a little bit of white because of the light. The black slightly down a little bit. Clarity, I can make it slightly smoother so that the whole image, because it's 1.2, the haze is just make it strong and then sharper, like that's what it's called, like dehaze, like minimize the haze in the picture. So, and at the same time, most of the time it gets warmer. Vibrance is controlling the shadow area, saturation controlling the highlight area. I can slightly a little bit adjust. Let's see. So these are just minor adjusts because the initial tone is pretty good. And the next one, I'm just gonna do the 4x5 a little bit, just make sure the back is horizontally aligned with those lines that blur out. Even though it's blur out, I want to make them align. And slightly adjust the cropping. At the same time, you can look at here is a slightly adjust. Okay, so this is the one. After that, it feels pretty good. I might just crop it closer because the I just want tighter area in here. Okay, so the next one is the S curve. Let me slightly get a little bit of the S curve here. So increase the fade a little bit, slightly adjust the dark in the shadow. This is slightly a little bit in here. And you can double check the difference between S curve and without S curve. Like this is without S curve, this is with S curve. It actually create more contrast because of the tone contrast here. And after that, and I can see the highlight, I can reduce the highlight a little bit more. Okay, now comes to the HSL. For the red, it control with the red in here, so I added a little bit more red in this one because it pops nicely. And the orange, you can see that the effect of the orange. Slightly added a little bit more skin tone. Let me see, illuminate. I can illuminate up a little bit because the overall image is nice light on the hair. So you can see that there's some amount of yellow in here also, but I can desaturate the yellow so that it's more concentrated on the orange overall. And the orange, if you change the hair, the tone become too red, but I want to slightly toward the red side because the outfit is red, and then I just add a little bit of touch of the red. Green, I don't need that. Let me reduce the green. Also aqua, and then the blue. The blue doesn't need that in this picture because it's not the main. And then let me see the before and after. Yep. And reduce the magenta a little bit. Okay, so the next one, I'm gonna add some spirit toning. Let me see. I can do the other way around. Is I can do the cold in the highlights and then warm in the shadow. Is it the other way around for the contrast? If it's not working, I can just go back to the cold in the shadow and then warm on the highlights. I think I will leave it warm on the highlights for this one. So, and then in here you can add a little bit more sharpness in here, just slightly more. There's no lens correction yet because this lens is relatively new. So this one control the color calibration. slightly a little bit saturated. Let me go back slightly. And this one, the green. Okay, and then the blue primary. Yeah. So if you go all the way to this side, it becomes too red. So the major is tilted a little bit more toward the red side, and I might increase a little bit more dark because trying to add more contrast from the background to the highlight of the hair so that the dark gets darker. Even the shadow also make it stronger contrast in this photo because of the light, because of the backlight. So once I finish all the other stuff, and then the contrast in here, and let me see if I can patch this one a little bit. So I'm gonna switch to the Wacom tablet so that it's more precise, so that I can patch this a little bit. I'm gonna create a bigger patch in here. So I'm using my Wacom tablet. Go back to this side and then grab this area. Yep, and then slightly move a little bit. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the smooth out using the soft skin light. Just smooth it out for now. Just smooth it out. Okay, so and then I go from far away. I think that's good. So from here, let me go back. So overall it's pretty good, and you can see the preview from here also. So so this is pretty good, and I'm gonna just do a quick edit in the Portraiture 3. So this is a quick easy one. I just bought it from the Portraiture 3. Just search online Portraiture 3, you buy the license. My setting right now is the threshold is 20. It's the default right now. It's right now it's a default setting, but later on sometimes you can change a different setting for this one. So this is the default for now. Some people use a different setting in the Portraiture 3, but for now I'm just do the default. Okay, so that's the default look and feel. Sometimes if the default is too much, you can change those settings, but I didn't change because after I changed the computer, I didn't change the default settings. So like I didn't change any like custom setting. But after that, and then I usually just do the Ctrl+Shift+E, save, export to my drive. After this one, and then I can do a copy this one, and then paste to other similar location. Oh, I think I copied the other one, so I should copy the first one. Let me copy back, copy, and then paste to this, the second one, paste. So you can see the similar thing, but in here I want to increase, so each shot has a little bit slightly different. And if you want a little bit more shadow in the front, you can do the what was that, shadow, a little bit of shadow, just slightly. Right now it's 51, is too much. just do 19, so it slightly adjust the shadow in here a little bit. I can see that slightly reduce the contrast also. Okay, so after that I can do the 4:5 crop, so that it's nicely, and I'm gonna crop the top so that it looks cleaner. Yep, you can see the difference if you don't crop the top. Let me show you an example. This feels distracted to me on the top, those bokeh. I can crop it. So this is your personal preference, depends on your feed, how your personal preference. My personal preference is make it cleaner on this side so that your focus is focusing on the portrait only. So, and then usually after that I'm just do a quick standard one and just save, and then do a quick okay. So you can see that the retouching automatically is pretty good, and I'm just gonna do a Control Shift E, save as. Okay, so that's my quick tutorial today and a quick sharpness comparison with this lens. So this lens is pretty sharp, as you can see that on the edge here is so sharp, even though it's shooting at wide open f1.2. This is the new Canon RF f1.2 lens, so that it's pretty good like at wide open, and the focusing speed is pretty fast. As the new RF lenses, they improve their focusing speed as well. Only the IAF need to be improved, because you need to be closer to activate the IAF. That one they can do another firmware update for that. And thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more video coming up. Bye.